we have something that has really blown me away. So this is a presentation given at a workshop that we had this year, and it's really quite something. So basically, it's here they're proposing to simulate small proteins by using a physical building as a computer. And so you basically see people here using tables as computing surfaces, physical objects such as notepads and so forth that are captured by overhead cameras as the interface, and literally creating these molecules, moving them about with laser pointers and kind of playing around with each other's molecules, but physically. And so this is this kind of like idea that if we do physicality, you have this kind of like shared mental map of what other people are working on. Brett Victor at Dynamic Land may be a name for some of you, is doing absolutely mind-boggling work and has here partnered up with Sean Douglas. And you can look at this, basically. You can go to the lab and try it out. It's pretty fantastical. And then, here we come back to the more long-term goals of molecular nanotechnology. There was also at one of our workshops this year, and that's Eric Drexler, who founded Foresight. He's now at FHI, and so he's basically thinking like, can we use massive multiplayer online gaming for complex molecular systems design? So could we create, like using a game engine like Godot, basically a system that is interesting enough for a bunch of people to pile in on an online game using real data and helping people to create these more complex machines in a way that is fun. And so he's trying to outsource much of the work that people are currently doing in the lab. And it's a project that is now under development. And so I really encourage you guys to stay up to speed on what they're working on. Next one up, we have human-to-human cooperation. And so this is something where many of you will feel at home. I will show a few familiar faces here. The goal here really of this group is to increase, first of all, human-to-human cooperation. So what could it mean to really unlock our potential? This one is a name that I'm hoping most of you recognize by now. And so Juan Benet really joined us to discuss this notion of Pareto Topium mechanism design. So what would it look like if we could increase the human ability to engage in Pareto preferred interactions over time? And the way we can do that is using software already to reshape really much of the mechanisms that human civilizations run on. And some of them include law, like contracts, rules, rights, and courts. And so you're all deeply, intimately familiar with blockchain, smart contracts. So that's that bit, and then economics, such as money, property, stocks, derivatives. And I think, this, I don't have to spend much time on. You can grok that one good, I think. But I think the kind of amount of potential, as one shows here, right, that can be unlocked really through like just coming up with better mechanisms for human cooperation is absolutely is kind of stupefying. Next one, in a similar vein, here is we have Balaji join us to discuss really the concept of the network state. And so the idea here really is that, we already know how to start our own company, we know how to start our own community, we know how to start our own currency, but now soon enough, we'll also be able to start really our own sovereignties. And he, came out with this concept a little while ago and shaped much of the discourse really up to now, to the extent that people are already moving into, or at least like using many of the ideas to now prototype what previously were called C-states or were called charter cities. Now you can build them kind of like on the network and move them to potentially physical locations.